Hey everybody, how you doing this morning? First of all, I need to read one of these pop-ups here. Okay, my name is Mike Killian, the Navigator Prophetic Ministry out of Charlotte, North Carolina, and I wanted to bring you a message today, stimulated by first of all, let me get some of that light out of there. That's not working very well, but anyway, it was stimulated by a conversation on Facebook this morning concerning the Zionist people, the Zionist government, and the Middle East conflict. And I wanted to come on and restate some clarifications concerning the Middle East conflict because, again, it is my contention that the Western Christian nations who are under the influence of Zionist media sources are being given a sanitized version of the Middle East conflict, and the wrong people are being I can't say that. The wrong narrative is being published, and the Western Christian Church and believing wrong things about the Middle East conflict. So let me begin. My contention is that it's okay to love the Messianic Jews and even, all Jewish people, but you need to understand that the promises that God has for the Jewish people are only for the Messianics, those that come to him, those that are a part of that come into the new covenant as outlined in Jeremiah 30 and 31. You need to understand that from the very beginning, the Jewish community has been infiltrated by evil people. There's always in everything, even in the United States, even in Russia, even in China, there are always your far left-wing fruits, nuts, and flakes that want to wreck things and want to bring down society, and they infiltrate good people, good governments, and that's happened to the Zionist government. Actually, 9 million true Jewish people of the true Jewish bloodline oppose that land, and they oppose the terrorism, the thuggery, the rape, and the theft perpetrated by Zionist administrators and the military, the IDF, against Palestinian people ever since before 1948. So we are getting the wrong view because the Jewish people, the Zionist people, the Illuminati, these 13 Illuminati bloodline families, and the Jewish bankers and the military-industrial complex, they own the media, and the wrong story is being told. So let me begin by saying this. About 18 years ago, I went to a debate, actually a speakers forum, that lasted 8 nights. It was led by several Jewish scholars, several Palestinian scholars, and one history professor from Davidson College. And the story was the origin of the Middle East conflict and how things are today. And we have been sold a bill of goods that the beat up and persecuted Jewish people came into their land, quote unquote, their land, claiming the old covenant and saying this. They came into the Middle East, claimed that land as that God gave that to them, and said that we want to live here and make this our Jewish homeland. because we don't have a nation of our own. And they played the harp and the violins, and broke out the violins and made everybody feel sorry for them for the moment. And then when they got in there, they turned and became the real terrorists that they really are. Okay, and I'm talking about Menachem Begin and Ariel Sharon and I forget the other guy's name, the guy with the eye patch. They were actually terrorists, and there are actually names for these terrorist Jewish Zionist terrorist groups. One being the Stern Gang, and one being the Irgun Gang. Okay, and they terrorized the day. Since the beginning, there's been over 1 million Palestinian people, innocent Palestinian people, that have been exiled from their homes, their businesses, their farms, and it's been taken over by the Zionists. And this you do not hear. And of that original 350,000 Palestinians who were exiled, around 50,000 of them were Christians. Okay? So here we are, we're backing a Zionist government that actually is a terrorist organization. Now, we go back to the story of Jacob and Esau. We say that it all started with that. It all started with Sarah and Hagar and Ishmael, and how that union, how that child came to be, and that he was exiled. And it said, the Bible says that Abraham loved Hagar and her son. And so when he sent them out, he sent them with a promise. It says that Abraham loved them. Abraham is a type of God in that situation. And that they were sent out with a great promise of being a great people. But can you imagine, Hagar didn't do anything wrong. Ishmael didn't do anything wrong. They were victims of Sarah's deception and treachery and jealousy. And so here's Hagar, and the son they're both kicked out. Now, can you imagine the problem that the son has with resentment and hatred? So this has been brewing in the people. All right? Then you have the story of Jacob and Esau. Who's the real evil person in that story? Is it Esau, who was desperate and famished and probably thought that Jacob was kidding? Oh, sure, I'll hand you over the deed for just a bowl of chili. Does that really sound real to you? Would he really do that? So Jacob is the real deceiver. He's a deceiver, and he deceives his father, and he deceives his brother, taking advantage of his serious situation. So he steals the birthright. All right. Who's the real evil person? Esau? No, Jacob is. So this is the origin of it. But the origin of the Middle East conflict today is that the political Zionist people are not really of the bloodline of Judah. Okay, they are descended from the Ashkenazi. They are Ashkenazis, and that word Kenaz is not. He's not. That's the root word. They are descended from the Kenites. They are not Jewish. And at the end of that word is Nazi or Nazi. Okay, Nazi. They got the spirit of Nazism on them. So they fled Europe. They fled Germany only to create a Nazi Germany in the Middle East. Okay? So, where do I go next on this? Let me see. Let me take a drink and I will think on this. What's next? Good coffee. The point of me trying to pull this out here is I have made ever since I saw that debate or that forum 15 years ago, I realized that the Palestinians have a legitimate gripe. They have been wronged, okay? The Zionist people, the Zionist leadership, not the core of bloodline Jews, but the Zionist leadership who are not even Jews. They say they are Jews and are not, but the synagogue of Satan. They're the real perpetrators. And the Palestinians were at peace. And they had a nice little society. When the Zionists came in and basically pushed them over, pushed them out, killed them, raped them, stole everything they had. So this idea of, oh, pray for the peace of Jerusalem, a piece of, who's the other woman? I don't remember who. Let's see, it was Hagar and Ishmael, and Jacob and Esau. Esau's mother, but they were brothers. I forget who the mother was. Pray for the peace of Esau also. Now today, both of them are terrorists going at each other like this. Okay? So you can't say, oh, and by the way, Israel has one of the biggest armies and most nuclear capabilities in the Middle East. You got the Palestinians who for the longest time didn't have all that. They didn't have modern weapons. But now other people are beginning to back these people, especially the UN. The UN has it right. They realize that political Israel, Zionist Israel, is a Marxist socialist crime syndicate. And this is the story that is not being told, and that is what I am dedicated to. And so I thank you for listening. I ask you to give me a thumbs up and subscribe, and also share this with your networks. I need to, is an informative video that people need to hear. Give me a thumbs up and subscribe and share. Okay? Thank you so much for listening, and stay tuned for more informative videos from the Navigator Prophetic Ministry. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.